Alright, thank you very much for joining me. This is Payne back again, just with a very quick review of this Game Boy Advance game. And this is Buffy the Vampire Slayer. And whenever I see these sort of games that are based on TV shows or games that are based on movies on the Game Boy Advance, I'm always wary. I'm always like, this probably won't be very good. And well, this one is not too bad. I guess it could be a lot worse. It reminds me of the Power Ranger games on the Game Boy Advance, because I do like me some cartoon platforms, cartoon platform games even. But this one is a platform sort of beat 'em up, but it's not a cartoony one. They kind of look like I don't know. Are they trying to go for like the Donkey Kong Country style, where it looks like they're clay or something, or I don't know what kind of style they're going for in this, or maybe they were going for like that kind of old-fashioned 90s silicone graphics look, because I don't know, they also look so weird like. But this one is a bit more involved than the Power Rangers game, or the Power Rangers games on the Game Boy Advance, because there's a few of them. This one has Buffy basically like walking to the right and just like fighting green vampires, and then you gotta stab them. But you do have like a little status screen where you can like choose different weapons, and there is some like attempts made at sort of like more intuitive controls. You can stab stake the vampires when they're down, which is pretty good. So this has a little bit of a story. It's got the characters from the TV show in it as well, in like this kind of, what would you call it, like a comic book style. They're just like still images, and then there's like talking over it, which, you know, you don't really expect much from the Game Boy Advance anyway. But it is pretty nice. At least they went to a bit of effort anyway to like make a little, you know, small bit of a story, to kind of, you know, for the fans of Buffy, because I used to love Buffy and the Vampire Slayer when I was younger. I always watched that, and to play a game of it, I remember playing the game of it on the PlayStation 2, which wasn't actually too bad either. They did put a bit of effort into it. It was a kind of a 3D beat 'em up, kind of like Primal, or kind of like Darksiders or something, but not as good as those obviously. But yeah, it was okay. This one I wasn't expecting much at all when I started playing it. So, you know, I wasn't disappointed or anything. But there is some good things about it. Like the game is quite linear, the game, but you know, it is very intuitive, as in what you have to do. So I imagine if a child played this, or a small child, they wouldn't get confused very easily, because it's quite intuitive. It must be made by the same people that make like the Spider-Man game and the Incredible Hulk game and the Power Ranger game, because like it's very similar to those. Like it's almost a carbon copy of the Spider-Man game, obviously just like with cut and pasted assets from Buffy the Vampire Slayer in it. So that's just a very quick look at Buffy the Vampire Slayer. You know, great show when I was younger, and it's an okay game. So if you played this Game Boy Advance game, let me know in the comment section below. Thanks for watching. Appreciate you watching to the end. I'll see you in the next video. Adios.